There we go. That should be started. Yeah. Okay. Hello to anyone listening. Just gonna do the rounds and make sure I tell people that I'm actually streaming. Excuse me. There we go. Alrighty. Let me pop up my to-do list. Have inventory float out of hand when entered. Blah blah blah. Okay, let's add one. Oh, that's way too far. Let's add one and just have it be transfer other to items to work in UA. There we go. And I think I'm going to start with that. Alright. So last time I had finished off with the fish, I believe. Grab interactable, grabbable item. Yeah. So I had made this fish. The fish that is prefab here. And I had it set up so that you can actually take it out of your inventory and put it back, which I wasn't able to do properly with these ones. I could make them spawn, but it would spawn here, it would go into the hand. And the way I decided to make that a little bit different was to literally just move the item around, which is probably not the best, but it works. So I'm going with that. The hoe and the fork, however, do not use that system currently, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to double the fish and go ahead and change what's being put there. World space, inventory space, fish, base parent equals none. Start inventory. Can I just see what was base parent again? Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Alright. So let's do the hoe. Let's do the hoe next. I'm also going to get this. I'm going to leave it there for now, actually. I changed my mind. Hello to person who has joined the stream. How are you doing tonight? I want to select my fish, and I'm going to make the hoe and the ring. Just remove these. Yep, and that should give me... I was going to say that should give me issues, but I guess apparently not. It's just going to leave it there. I'm going to rename this one to hoe, enter the hoe, and change the visuals from a hoe to from a fish, sorry, to a hoe. Let's do that. Okay, that's an error, but we're not going to worry about that. World space is there, so let's go get our hoe game object. I don't like this bug. And we're going to zero it out. Okay, and I had the fish like this, so I'm going to place this like that as well. Oh, I really don't like this bug. Okay, let me see what I can do about that. Because it's going to give me an error every second. Let's grab this. Sure. let's put everything in there. A place to stop. Yes, actually, please do that. Hopefully that helped. We'll find out. What's this one? Okay, let's stick with this. And let's have it standing up, as I was doing. So, is it X we want? I believe it is, and we want it at 90 degrees in X. And let's have the base of it be down there. Put ourselves in side view. Orthographic. I'm just going to put this up like this. And we're going to have the attach point. It's not a bad place. Let's leave it like that. Okay. As such. Here we go. And I'm just going to check because I kept seeing like this. Yes, that there. Mesh collider. I should be able to just do hope. But it's going to be in the wrong direction. Fair enough. Let's remove that. Go here. Do a mesh collider. Put it as... oh, actually, let me double check something. So over here, yes, take that off. Put this back on. I want the fish again. This wasn't a trigger. This was just the collider for it. Okay, we can do that. Let's go back. There we go. And select our hoe once more. I think I can not have this and it still works. Let's try that. Let's try that. Okay, let's have it off. We have the hoe here. We have the orb. We have the fish in the orb. Is visuals. Interesting. And we're going to put a tiny hoe in this orb. There we go. Oh, not is visuals. Inventory space visuals. Got it. Alright, visuals. This will be world space visuals, and the other one shall be inventory space visuals. I get it now. I remember why I did that. There we go. And let's not reset everything, just put that to that, and we're going to put it down to like 0.1 maybe? No, 0.1 is too big. 0.03? 0.03? 0.03? That's not too bad. Now let's make sure it's in the bubble though. We are still in isometric. There we go. And for some reason my hoe is a little bit off in this direction, so I am just do that to make sure it moves with it, because I'm starting to have doubts now. Yeah, it does move with it. Okay, we're good. And I'll turn that off. Give it a quick save. Put the new hoe in the scene. We can remove the old hoe. I believe we are ready for a little quick VR test. Just waking all the VR stuff up. Headset is on. does seem to be working. GeForce experience, thank you. And we're gonna go in VR, see how this works. Hopefully that should just work, but we'll see. Okay, hands are there, orb is there. I can walk forward and grab my fish. I can put it into the orb. It is now here. Still want to make a nicer icon, I guess, for that. We'll get back to that though. Grab this. Interesting. Okay, well that's a problem. Let's just drop that for now. We'll figure out what's happening thereafter. And I can't seem to grab my hoe. Okay. So I just saw two issues. Wonderful. Oh, stop turning. Let's start with the simplest of the two. The hoe that I can't currently grab. I believe it's because it's one of two things. It's either because it's not on the parent, it's just not finding it, or it's because it's not convex, which could possibly be the issue as well. Let me see. So let me just compare with the fish real quick. So trigger mesh collider for fish, it's using this one. I might not have set that up. Let me double check the grabbable item, how I set that up to start with, because it's been a week and I cannot remember. Okay, so drop, okay, is an inventory. Interesting, okay. Okay, I legitimately cannot remember how this works. Cool. Well, let's start with my first hunch, and then I can come back to this. I should be able to go into prefabs, items, to the hoe, thank you very much. And I'm going to start with checking if it's because it's here. So I'm just going to copy this, remove this, go over to this, place it here, paste as new, and oh, I was going to say, and it should take the things by default, but I guess not. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. In that case, I'm going to test the other one out first because it's going to be the simplest to fix. Let's try if the convex is the issue, if it's convex. Rigid body, okay. I should be able to test this now. Well, it fell down, so that's a start. Let me just get up from the chair, bump into stuff, try to grab this. Oh, I'm grabbing it. I'm holding it backwards, but I'm grabbing it. And can I put it in here? I cannot. Okay, but as a convex shape, I am able to like do the things. All right. This off again. First things first, go into hoe, and I'm just going to spin my attach point around minus 90, I guess, so that it's pointing in that direction, so when you pick it up, you know it's pointing in the right direction. That's thing number one. Thing number two, I can remove this. Oh, can remove that, yes. I think the orb has the sphere collider. Yeah, we're good. So thing number 2 was that it is not set up collider. I'm going to just place this here. Actually, I think the music's a bit loud. I'm just going to lower that a bit. Oh, can I get this? There we go. Perfect. Alright, so that is set up here. And I'll see if that's all I need to be able to get it to go into the inventory. And if it is, then that is fantastic. And this should be gone though. Remove. The hose should be in here. I promised there was an end to that thought, but I lost my train of thought halfway through. So let's not worry about that. So yeah, I'm going to see if the trigger is all I needed to be able to put it into the inventory, and if it is, then I'll move on to fixing up the collisions for this, because right now they're not the best. Like if I wanted to move this box around with just the end, I wouldn't be able to because the collision box goes all the way here. I don't want that. So let's try this again. This might actually be difficult to grab. Nope, I'm good. Okay, so it is pointing in a better direction, but it should be like this, and right now it's like this. Oh, I'm being called. Well, fantastic. Let me just turn that off for a moment. Go. One moment, let me just check. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I'm just checking to see if this is important enough to close the stream. So I'll get an answer eventually. Meanwhile, while I get that answer, I am going to continue what I was doing. So let's see if I'm able to put the hoe in my inventory, which was the point. Here we go. So it is not interacting with it at all. So there is something else I need to do. Alright. Let's see. Let's see what I'm forgetting. Okay, so it might be because it has to be on this this transform right there. Okay, I'm being told it can wait. So let's make some collisions directly on this. That'll be better, I think. Here we go. So let's move this up. Oh, that's the height, not the center. Let's move this up and move this back down. Something like that. Here we go. Make that negative. It's fairly good. Ah, it's doing this thing again. Existing checkout operation has locked the workspace. Please wait for the checkout operation to finish. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay. And let's make it a little bit closer to what we want. Something like that. I think this will be good. And now let's have a box collider. And we'll move the box collider up. I could move it with the actual thing. Maybe that's better. Let me try it. I don't usually use this, but it could be fun, right? You can just click and move and so on and so forth. Can I do this in orthographic? It seems like I can. There we go. There we go. So it's not going to be perfect. This way. There we go. Back to orthographic. It's not going to be perfect because the front of the hoe is wider than the back of it, like if you look at the top. So this part is going to have a collision when it's not supposed to, but I think that's okay for now. We're going to go to this one over here and remove the mesh collider because I've placed our two new colliders here. And I'm going to double check the fish to see what I'm using as the trigger for it. So if I go on fish and I scroll down here, I am using the mesh collider that is here and it is not trigger. So I should be okay to go into hoe and go over here and just use this one, I guess. Let's put this one in here. There we go. And now if I go back out, and oh, that's right. I had the orientation of like where it was pointing. So I'm going to want to rotate this way a little bit for the attach point. Sorry. So currently I pick it up and it's kind of pointing in this direction. So if I want it to be pointing that direction, I'm going to have to rotate this over here to -90, I believe. And we're going to find out soon enough. Okay, that's thing number one. Thing number two, I'm going to move this over to a rotation of 90 in this direction and over here just so it lays down. I guess I could do the same for the fish. Let's move that up here. Here we go. Give it a save. And we're going to go back in VR and see if that's working now. Go. Hands are functional. Orb is still there, floating around as it usually does. If I grab the hoe, it is pointing in the right direction now. And see, I should be able to, move stuff around with it. Alright, next thing. Does it work with the orb? Yeah. And as we can see, the hoe is now here. And if I try to grab it again, it comes into my hand. Good. Now, there was a bug that we noticed with the fish, and I want to know if it's still a thing. So if I put it here, my hand is out here, and I try to grab something. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. So, interesting. So if I grab this here, while the ball is closed, it works fine. And if I put this here, you see they placed both on, one on top of the other. Okay, that's another issue. But this is confusing to me. And it's still grabbing the hoe. What if I... Ooh. Okay. This isn't right. It's still there. That's not right at all. And it still has collisions, eh? Yep. Okay. Well, let's fix this. Alright, so it seems to be the same bug for both the little fishy and the hoe. Let's put this back in. Here we go. They're one on top of the other. So what I'm thinking is that it has something to do with the grabbing mechanics. It's keeping in mind the last thing I put in, or the first thing I put in, or whatever is the case. It's grabbing the first one out. Interesting. Also interesting. And I may have just proven myself wrong. Well, let's figure out what's happening in code. Oh, shoot. 3 people at the same time. Hello, everyone. Feel free to type in chat if you want to just say hi or any messages whatsoever. Alrighty, so what's happening here? Ah, okay, so I have pick from inventory and drop here, and if I click on my hoe, I have pick from inventory. I do not have drop. So this may be something I added in. So I'll go ahead and just apply all to my fish, and I'm going to go here, go into my grabbable item, and add drop, and do the same thing here. So select entered, select enter arg, pick from inventory. If is in inventory return, else is inventory equals false. Okay. You know what? I think I might know what's happening. Let me just test real quick. So, if I go back into VR, and we'll come back to the scene view, because I have a feeling that the collider isn't disappearing. As it should be. I grab my fish, and I'm just going to pull my goggles off for a moment. Oops, sorry, moving stuff around. There we go. I have the fish in my hand. I go to scene view, and I'm just going to select a fish real quick. Okay, so I see the entire collider on this, right? Now, if I pop the ball up and put this in, it is now a tiny ball. What I want to know is, what does the collider look for it? I don't know what this is. Okay, fish, XR rig. Camera offset, sure. Left hand. Inventory interactor? Perhaps? No. Left hand? Inventory anchor? Oh wait, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the inventory. There we go. Inventory visuals, hungry hold, item container, and fish is in the item container. Alright, so the mesh collider for the fish has turned off. Okay. Interesting. If I go to player inventory and I put myself in perhaps this is what I want. If I put myself in debug mode, item orbs equals 0. Interesting. Item orb is that, script is that. Okay. And this has the issue that if I try to grab something over here, it pops in. It does. And it's in every direction, eh? Yeah. well, at least I fixed that issue. Oh, I say that, I did not. Look at this. It's like quasi stuck on it still. Interesting. Alright. Some stuff is happening and I don't know why. We'll see as it's acting differently, even if it's a copy. Okay, let's get out of debug mode. Normal once more. And interactable is here, and on the hoe interactable is there. Base parent is interactable. For some reason this is triggering, I can only assume, when you close your hand once it's in the inventory. Okay, I actually don't know why that's happening now. What I can do is try to fix the problem where the items are not in an array. Not an array, rather going around it. So let's do that. Interactable, player inventory, item container, place orb. Oops, I clicked too quickly. Here we go. Place orb is doing that. We are going to I see. So it's basing itself off the number of items that is in the inventory, player inventory. We're not going to do that. We're going to use the item orbs. Here we go. And just replace my item orbs here. Oh, item orbs, items. What's in items then? I'm sorry. Items is an item. Cool. And is my grabbable item an item? It is not. Okay, well I can change that. So let's go in real quick. Player inventory. Items, no. These are going to be grabbable items. Yeah. Here we go. They probably should be game objects for now. I'm realizing. But I'm going to just go with it. Alright, so display inventory. I'm also going to want to have remove object or remove orb, I guess. So let's do that for now. Item is this. So inventory items add item. Here we go. And then I'm going to make a new one that's going to be remove orb, and it's going to remove it from that so that they place themselves correctly. I'm saying that now and I'm questioning it because it's going to place it when you drop it depending on the number of items. It isn't going to reorganize itself every time. Maybe I want it to reorganize itself. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start off by adding it to the items list, like that. Then once it's added to the item list, we're going to figure out the spacing for it, as such. And then once the spacing is going to be done for that, we're going to visuals item orb, that isn't even used anymore, and spacing blah blah blah. We are going to go through the item containers children and just place them. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Let's just force a complete check over every time. Public void um, set spacing, I guess. For each thing, grabbable item in inventory dot items, we are going to do this essentially. So for every item that is in there, actually, you know what? Yeah, I could do transform. Transform item, and we're going to do items dot get component. Oh, I cannot do that. Oh, my bad. I need to do, wait, items. Okay, I can't do that. My bad. Let's do this. So we're going to have grabbable items, grab item, and we're going to say create a game object. No, transform. I'm sorry, transform item, and item is going to equal grab item dot get component transform. There we go. So it's going to get the transform from each item, and then it's going to do this. However, I no longer need that, no longer need that, no longer need that, because I already have the transform for the items. That should work, I think. Let's do this over here. Set spacing just like that, and we'll have another public void remove item orb. And that is going to be same thing, grabbable item. There we go. And we're going to essentially have the exact same thing, but instead of having an add, we're going to have a remove. And I probably should do a check to see if it already exists, but we're not, because I'm lazy, essentially. Set spacing. I no longer need this. I no longer need that, actually. Okay. So now when I add an item in, it should add itself to the list and then set its spacing for all of the orbs. And then when I take it off, it should remove the item from the list and then set its spacing. And because the spacing is based off the number of items there are, it should just work, is, you know, the idea. Let's find out. Remove orb and display inventory. Okay. Grabbable item. This is a bit close. Pick from your inventory. Isn't an inventory space? Inventory space. World space, inventory space. I see. Okay. Pick from inventory, it does that. Okay. Place orb. Okay, so let's take a look. When does place orb get triggered? Probably on the hungry hole itself. Place orb. There it is. Okay. Okay. So hungry hole is the one that is currently checking to see, telling that an orb has been added to it. Now we want another one to check to see if the orb is being removed from it. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to do that when I click on the orb for the hoe or the fish, I suppose. Grabbable item, pick from inventory. Pick from inventory. Select enable entered. Pick from inventory. Pick from inventory. I'm realizing what I made makes no sense. I don't know why it's working. Okay. I guess when you pick it up, no matter what, it's not in inventory, so it kind of works. Alright. Okay. And the music has indeed died, so I'm just going to select a random one and have it start once again. Here we go. Should be starting. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I need a way for it to understand that when I'm selecting the orb, it's no longer in the inventory. Currently, the only thing that is like taking it out of the inventory is the fact that you're picking it up itself. The item from inventory, grabbable item. The item's moving parent. It's not currently sending any messages, but I need to send a message to the item container. I need to think of this because this makes... There is no way to talk to this, but I need to talk to this, otherwise it won't work. And the display inventory is literally just visual and doesn't in any way receive information from anything. It's being told directly from the hungry hole of all places that an item's being added. Okay, so I guess we can, in grabbable item, when we say pick from inventory, we could do a quick check to see if we have a display inventory, and if we do, then have it remove orb. However, pick from inventory is when we click on it. Let's do that. I don't think that's the best option, but it might work, so let's test it. Let's make a var. We'll call it check for now, because I don't think this is a good way of doing it. So transform dot parent dot get components display inventory equals null. Return. equals null, sorry, question mark. Uh, also make it null. Otherwise, actually, you know what? I don't need to do that. I can just do this here, display inventory, get component, display inventory. Sorry, let's do it this way. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So this is the display inventory. Let's write inventory. Let's have it that way. It'll be null if it doesn't find it. So if there is nothing, it will give me null, I believe. It won't just give me an error. Haha. First, going to cook with you in background. Okay. Hello, it's Yen. Nice to have you on stream. Right. So if inventory does not equal null, we are going to give it the command to remove it. So dot remove orb, and this is a grabbable item, so this, just remove this. And then is in inventory equals false. Not sure why I need is in inventory right now. I'll get back to that. Maybe there was a reason I did that. But maybe the reason is null with what I just wrote here. And we'll find out. Who knows? Alright, let's see if that works. If the remove works at all, there is a good chance it does not. And one hand. Ooh, my headset's all messed up. Here we go. Two hands. Okay, turn around over here. Let's move a little. It's working, right? Yeah, a little bit closer. And I grab the hoe. Actually, you know what? The fish was the one that was working fine, so let's do that. And we put it into here. We have that. Now let's take the hoe. We put it into here. It didn't work. Oh, a lot of things have ceased to function. Alright. Oh, wow. Okay. I very much broke it. What kind of errors do we have? Console. Object reference is not set to an instance of an object. Object reference is not set to an instance of an object. And it's telling me the XR Interactor Manager that's... Ooh. Well, that is not where I expected to have an error. Okay. Okay, so this is clearly the cause, what I just did here. But... Rip in pieces, yeah. What have I done? Nope, I'm breathing into my mic there. Here we go. First, last, hover, select, pick from inventory, undrop. Okay, so that's all it's doing. It's grabbing it, select, and select exit to drop. And when I pick it up, from inventory, it does this. It checks if it's in the inventory and then sets it to false if it is not. And how is this used? Oh. I have the logic there, that's why. Okay, but this is a get. So I'm not changing anything here, I'm just checking if it's true. That shouldn't be an issue. This I'm simply removing it. So it shouldn't be an issue. Let's test it. Let's give it a quick little test here because I don't understand how what I did would be causing this. Orb, fish. It's in here. Do I have an error? So far so good. If I grab this and put it here, do I have an error? No, though that shouldn't be showing what I'm seeing. And if I grab this, do I have an error? No. And if I grab this, okay, do I have an error? No, but it didn't actually unparent itself. Maybe I'm doing something at the wrong place and it's not liking that. That's my new theory here. Okay. World space, inventory space, rigid body, trigger is enabled. Okay, so far so good. Set parents, that seems to be fine. Okay, I have a new idea and it's probably not a good one. Instead of having a check for oh. I was gonna say instead of having a check for if it's an inventory, I'm going to do this instead, but that doesn't work. Okay. I've created an interesting spider web. I need the inventory to be able to talk to this. Maybe this is not the answer. Maybe having it in this fashion is like not ideal. Maybe what I should do is this. So when I don't have a place in inventory. Okay. More thinking is required. Let's have a private. Let's continue down this rabbit hole of doing things the dumb way. Display inventory. Here we go. Inventory. There we go. And so, if is in an inventory, we don't want it in inventory yet. We want to put it here. The base parent, instead of having it as a transform, what I'm going to do is have it as a display, so I can't screw this up. Display inventory base parent, so base parent dot transform is going to be what we want, and we're going to set inventory to be base parent. equals base parent. Though, because I'm already making sure that it is that, I now have a link. I don't need this. Okay. So over here, I'm going to tell underscore base parent to add, no, sorry, inventory. Base parent is the display inventory, and I'll have place orb. I'm sorry, that's what it's called. Place orb. This. And before removing the parent from this, which I don't do here, interesting, I'm going to do remove orb here. Okay. And in here, set spacing is set there, it is added, it is removed from here. Okay, I'm going to go back to my orb, and instead of doing pick from inventory, I believe is where that thought process was leading me. Yeah. Pick from inventory, this equals false. Drop, okay, sure. And when I add it to the inventory, it changes the thing and it does this. Okay, I'm pretty sure I screwed it up, but I can't think of how, so I'm just going to give it a quick test. Ball is there. Second hand is not there. I'd like my second hand. Yes. Pick up the fish. Doop. Okay. Doop. Okay, okay. And what errors are it giving me? 19, 19, 26, 26. So this which part is empty? I'm sorry. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. This is for what? Base parent mismatch type. Ah, I see. Okay. Here we add. Oh, because I'm dumb. I see. Okay. So this is incorrect. I'm way off. What I'm going to do, that is a transform most likely. Okay. And we're not going to use base parents remove orb, base parent place orb. What we're going to do is on awake, inventory space. Yeah, let's just do it the stupid way. So private inventory display inventory inventory, and on awake we're going to do inventory equals I don't want to do a find. That is such a bad way of doing things. And I also don't want to have to drag drop it into every freaking one. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Find object of type um, inventory. I'm having my fingers licked right now by a kitten and it's really ticklish. So find object of type of, and inventory display. Here we go. This will send me a game object. So dot transform. Nope. Dot game object. Nope. I can't do that. Okay. Let's do game object dot find. Actually, can I do find object of type? That comes back with the object. Okay. You know what? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll just grab that. It's not a good way of doing that, but I just want it to work, and then after that I can go back to making it work like better. So this is a game object dot transform. Here we go. And inventory. Here we go, and here we go. Now I have a way to, oops, I did that wrong. Now I have a way to talk to it. What is this? Oh, display inventory? Sure, we could do that. Get component display inventory. Sure. Okay. Now let's see what errors I've created. There we go. Oh no. I don't know what happened to the hoe. Okay. Let's not worry about. Hello, hoe. That's a bug within a bug right there. Alright, so let's put this here. And nothing happens. What kind of errors do we get? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Is that because I forgot to fix... No, interactable is here. Interactable is here. Okay. Item container display inventory. It can't find it. Alright. I'm going to have to use my last remaining brain cells to do this then. Or, and hear me out here, instead of having this here, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to force its hand. Serialize field. Here we go. And now every single item is going to have a field for the inventory, and I'm going to grab the inventory, and then I dare it to tell me that it's not finding the instance of the object. So, item container, here we go. Fish, item container, here we go. Both the fish and the hoe are in the interactable. Both the fish and the hoe have interactable as the base. That is correct. That is correct. Save, and let's see. Both the fish and the hoe have disappeared. And let me guess, there they are. And for some reason, they've attached themselves to that already. Oh, however, that part is working. That part is not. Okay. Okay. I need to rethink this. I need to rethink this. Okay, so I have a grabbable item. This should not be here. I have decided that the item itself should not know if it's in the inventory or not at any given time. This is literally just the visuals of the item. it's being told if it's in the inventory. So I have to tell the grabbable item when it's in the inventory and when it is not. The display inventory is going to be doing the job of telling the item. So when I place an item, I add it here and I tell the item dot that it is now in an inventory. So is in inventory equals true. When I remove it from the inventory, I'm going to say you are no longer in the inventory. False. This is happening on the display inventory itself. The display inventory is telling the grabbable item that it is either in the inventory or it is not in the inventory. There we go. That's my thinking. Now, I have other things doing these things that shouldn't, I believe. Let's go take a look. So if I select my fish and I scroll down, I actually won't need this anymore. I have the select that is pick from inventory. So when I grab it, it's going to pick from inventory. And then when I let go of it, it's doing drop. And that is on the grabbable item itself. Now, I have decided that this is no longer being used because the inventory is telling the item if it's in or not. Let's remove that. Second thing, I want to be able to, I'm being massaged. Because this sounds so complicated. Yes, I understand how an inventory system usually works. The issue I was having, Etienne, was that because I'm in VR, I was able to like have an item appear and have a list of items and all that. But when I came to like pick it out of my inventory, there was no way for it to tell, no way for me to tell it go into my hand. And I looked quite extensively, and I have another helper who's a VR dev who's also looking into it and hasn't come back to me with anything so far. There might be a way that I've missed, but so far 2 different people have not found that. So the way around it I found is to literally move the item around, because the VR and Unity seems to want that to be the case for items. This is why I'm going down this route. The reason I'm having trouble to think through this issue is that it's 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday after I've been doing shaders all day and my brain is toast. So let's just walk through this. When an item gets put into the hungry hole and it eats the item, the display inventory, it pops a place item for the current item. It goes into here and it places that item. Right? Placeholder. At this point, I tell the item that it has been put in inventory. Now, what I need is a time where it's going to tell it that's being removed from the inventory. And to do that, you're telling me that programming for 12 hours straight is hard? Sometimes. Mostly with shaders. I don't know if you've ever tried to make a shader in Unity using shader graph stuff, but it's a lot easier in shader graph than it is like with code, which I have done a bit of, and yeah, my head hurts from that. So when I'm removing the item, how am I deciding that? Pick from inventory, drop. Pick from inventory, set spacing. This is never being referenced at all. Okay, this is not being used right now, and it needs to be used. Item. Display. Yeah, it's pane. Yep. Okay. So what do I have here? I have a select, I have an exit. Pick from inventory is on select. That's grabbable item. Pick on inventory here. I don't actually want it to do that anymore. I'm gonna keep drop. I don't actually want this to be the case anymore because I don't want this to be governed by this. Here we go. But I still do need a way to tell it to do stuff. This is gonna go crazy. So yeah, let's just remove that real quick. So when I select it and it's in the inventory, then I tell it that it's no longer in the inventory. The fish doesn't have access to the inventory. The fish only has access to itself. Set parent. Okay. And now I'm stuck because these two aren't speaking in that direction. It's coming from this one. This one is telling that it's either in the inventory or it's not in the inventory. But because of XR grab interactable, it's forcing me to use the item to tell the inventory something. I don't like that. What I could do is when I select it, check if it's in inventory, and if it is, it will be on the inventory itself. So then I could access that. Sure, which I've gone like full circle on this pick from inventory thing. If it's not an inventory, return. If it is, you have access to the display inventory through your parents. So transform dot parent dot get component display inventory, and I'm going to tell it that it's no longer in the inventory. So remove orb. This. Okay. This should work, he says, with very little hope in his heart. Let's go back into the fish and add this here, add this here. Go over to grabbable item, and it's not drop, it's pick from inventory that I want. Okay, so the fish, when I select it, it goes into pick from inventory. Technically it does it no matter what, but if it's not an inventory, it just it shorts out. If it is an inventory, it does this. So what I could do is just do it this way, so it's simpler for myself next time I work on this. So if it's in the inventory, get the component, which you're going to have because you're in the inventory, and remove the orb. And then it just gets out, so it doesn't matter. When we go into remove orb, we go here, we remove the item from the inventory list, we set it to false, so it's going to go through this. Set inventory equals value. If this is true, these might be backwards, maybe I screwed this up, but it's going to go through the correct one, I assume. Set, I think this is backwards. Actually, I'm fairly certain this is backwards. So if it's in inventory, item dot is in inventory equals false. If I'm removing it, it equals false. If I'm placing it, it equals true. If I'm placing it is true, world space set active equals false. That's good. Inventory space set active equals true. That's good. Rigid body is kinematic is false. Kinematic is true. That's good. Use gravity equals false. That's good. Trigger enabled equals false. That's good. I also want to set its parent to be the inventory. Which is done here, I would hope. It isn't, but it will be. Okay, so it isn't being done here. That's fine. If it's turned to false, then it goes back to the base parent. Trigger is enabled. Set active is true. World space is true. I'd like to flip that in here, but for some reason it was causing me some issues, so I may just leave it on drop for now. But I do need to set its parent to the inventory when I'm here. So let's do that. When you're placing the orb, it does that, and then it's item dot transform dot parent equals transform, I guess. And on false, it's being set back to its normal value. I could actually move this so I don't have to place it on every item. Let's do that. So we're going to remove that. We're going to do base parent. We're going to go up here, and we're going to rename this from base parent to non-inventory parent. It's a bit of a long name, but let's go with that. And so is set to false, and then item dot transform dot parent equals non-inventory parent. Okay. Maybe I want to do this before I set all the rest. Let's do that. So it either puts it in the inventory and then sets up all the stuff, or it takes it out of the inventory and sets up all the stuff. Then it does the spacing, and we'll get back to how that's not working later. But let's take a look. So we go back here, and when we scroll down, we no longer have this here because we will have it in the inventory. Item contains non-parent is going to be interactable. Here we go. Remove that. We're going to save it, and we're going to try it. We'll see what this gives. There we go. We got two hands. We got a bubble. Pick up the fish. Ball. Green. Let go. It appears there. I grab it. It doesn't go back, but okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So it isn't turning something back, but it is not in the inventory anymore. Okay, so it's giving me some errors. Let's take a look. Line 53. Oh, wonderful. Grabbable item, line 53. 53 is here. It is not getting something in this. Oh, if I do that, it's going to crash, isn't it? Let's try it. Enable debugging for the session. Okay, got my hands back. Oh no. Oh, it's loading, I see. I couldn't see it in VR. And going to clear this because I want to know if there are new errors. Okay, let's turn around. Ball, fish, 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 fish. Oh boy. Am I getting errors? What's happening? Okay, well, something's not happy because half of my controls don't work. Oh, I'm getting errors like crazy. Okay. It probably didn't like that I... Okay. Alright. Yeah, debugging in VR is fun. Let me think. This is telling me that it is empty somehow. Pick from inventory. If is in inventory. It is checking if it's in inventory. And if it is in inventory, it should have a parent. And that parent should have a display inventory. Let's try starting it in debug mode, maybe? Okay. No errors so far. Right. Now if I grab this, right. Now we go into here and explain to me what is null. Transform.parent equals null. I'm sorry, what? Fish, I see it right here. It does have a parent. What is this? Base, sure. Base, base. Transform fish. Parent null. What? What? This is false. This is verifiably false. Why are you telling me this? Grabbable item. Transform. Okay. Yeah, that's not true. Alright, what's happening here? Let's do a little test. So, if it's in inventory, we're going to like poop out all the information as a debug because something's very strange and I don't understand. So transform, you're going to do that first. Actually, you know what? Well, let's do it this way. This, 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 this. We're going to have transform, have the two spaces, then we're going to have transform.parent and just start with that and see what it tells me. Now, if it's to be believed, it is going to give me a fish, then null, because that's what it just told me in the debug. And then we'll figure out why, because we can see that that's not true. So maybe it's passing after? Oops. Grab the fish. Here we go. In we go. We got the fish. We pick it out. Here we go. And it is giving us fish unity engine.transform. Okay, it must be passing after this is set, which makes to false, which makes no sense. Oh. No, it's not in here anymore. Okay. let's go through this once more, but I don't think that makes any sort of sense whatsoever. So fish, when I click on this, select entered, pick from inventory, which checks if we're in the inventory, and if it is in the inventory, then that happens. If we are in the inventory, if this is true, space, okay. Okay. Here we go. I think I see it. Let's do that like that. That might be the issue. I think we were removing it from the inventory, removing its parent before removing it from the inventory. That's what was causing the issue. Let's take a look. Here we go, ball, in ball, fish there, take it out. And exactly the same error, and exactly the same result, which should not be a thing. Okay. What if we just... Wait a minute, I just realized. It's either not in using the parent that's not in the inventory, or it's using the parent, which is that. At no time is it null. Okay. So, maybe it's just telling me transform is an inventory. Pick from inventory. Maybe this is still happening after that. No, it doesn't get to this. I just realized. This happens after no matter what. So the first bit of information it's going to go into its pick from inventory. It checks if it's in the inventory. Okay. Parent dot game object dot name. Give me a name. It is not doing what it is supposed to do. Some nice relaxing VR development. Here we go. And what does it tell me? Is set to what? 53? Where's the fish? It's there. Okay. One moment, please. What's going on? Let's check for every instance of the word parent here. The only ones in here are being used here. Okay. And here, set parent transform, set spacing. Okay, this we do not need. But that shouldn't be the issue. So the parent is only ever being set to either The display inventory or the non-inventory parent and display inventory. Let's take a look at the display inventory. It is set, so at no point should it be setting itself to the world, which it seems to be doing. Okay. Currently my fish has its parent set to item container, which is correct. If I grab it, oops, sorry Ada, I can't see you, Poo-Poo. Case of animal abuse has just happened. Okay, so I picked it up. Interesting. Because when I pick it up, it goes into the hand. Oh no! I just figured it out. So when I pick it up, and it uses my handy dandy, where are you, fish? And it uses my handy dandy select, it's actually not being set its parent to interactable. You did a dum-dum. No, it's the VR stuff that's messing with me again. Because I'm trying to get it to do something it's not designed to. So what's happening is, it's true, I have the two places I have it set to different parents are when it's in your inventory and when it's in the world. And those two are set. What I didn't realize is when you pick it up, it gets set to being a child of the hand that's currently holding it. That hand doesn't have a display inventory. I see. So when it's telling me that it doesn't have a, blame the VR again, yeah. So what it's telling me is that it doesn't have a display inventory, which is true because it's on the hand at that point. It's not in the inventory and it's not in on the ground. So once again, I don't have a link to the script for the inventory. What I could do yeah, what I could do, private, display inventory, is just have it saved there. So I guess that would be public. Pick from inventory. Yeah. Okay, let's do it that way. There's probably a better way to do this, but I don't care. I just don't care. Inventory equals that underscore inventory. And we're going to just set the inventory once I put it in. So the first time I'm doing this is an inventory equals true. I'm also going to check if item dot inventory equals null, and if it's null, item dot inventory is going to equal this. Can I not do that? Oh, it's a read only. I'm sorry. This is a read only? You know what? I'm doing it the even dumber way. There we go. I guess technically I'm not supposed to have that because it's public. There we go. Inventory with a capital I, capital I, capital I. Very good. Alright, so once I put it in inventory, it does this. Cool. Now I have access to its parents. So where was I setting the parents? I cannot remember now. It was in here, wasn't it? Item inventory parent. Here it is. Parent transform. Non-inventory parent. Remove orb. This is useless. This doesn't work because of what I had said. It's in the hand, not in the inventory at this point. Set spacing. Okay. So when you place it, it goes in. I also set its inventory the first time. I am now in here. And when I drop it, I'll have access to inventory. So I'll be able to say, you know, is kinematic equals false, use gravity equals true. I can also say inventory dot I could get this, the parent from there. So I can say it's parent transform dot parent equals inventory dot non underscore non. It's private, isn't it? I am going to have to come back at a later date and clear this up because I realize how nonsensical everything I'm doing is. Because I'm trying to work around the VR stuff. Here we go. So when I drop it, its parent becomes that. It does that and it does that. And drop is being used only on the item. And only on inventory. Yeah, screw that. It stays there. It is being used only here. So when you let go of it, it drops. Okay. So the line pick from inventory here. Instead of using this, I'm going to use inventory. Remove orb. There we go. Is there something you'd like to say, Ada? Yeah, I'm sure she's probably hungry. Okay, so when I pick it from inventory, I remove the orb. The removing of the orb is this. It removes the item from the list. It sets the is in inventory to false, which resets the trigger, resets the world space, resets that, theoretically. Alright, let's see. Pick that up, orb, loop. Pick that up, comes back to being fish. I can drop it, I can pick it up, I can drop it, I can pick it up, I can put it back in. I can pick this up, it does stuff. I move it here, it goes in here. And then if I pick it up and I drop it, if I pick it up and I drop it, it works. There we go. Okay, that's 1 out of 2. Next thing to figure out is this, why it's spawning over itself. Whew. Cool. we now have items that we can take out and put back into our inventory. And for some reason, they are not placing themselves correctly. I think I see why. Okay. 4. Let's just remove this. Int I equals 0. I is smaller. What am I doing? I is smaller than inventory items count, then I++. So the item is going to equal the inventory items, the current item, right? The spacing is going to check the initial spacing originally, and then after that does the count for the spacing angle, updates the spacing angle, and then local position is going to be the offset, and the rotate around is going to be the position plus spacing angle. Spacing angle is max angle divided by, right, times I believe. Because the more items you want, the more you want there to be space. Alright, let's take a look if that helps or if I made it worse. Pick up fish, fish, pick up hoe, hoe. We got 2 different ones. I can pick up the hoe, I can pick up the fish, it replaces itself. I can pick up the fish again. Here we go. It picks up the one that I selected. So, if I now, for some reason I'm lagging quite a bit. Let me just double check. I am not currently debugging, am I? No, I am not. Alright. Oh well. So, now if I stand up, and I'm like, I decide to go to my yard, over here, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to use the hoe, and I can till the land a little bit. Oh yes, so much tilling. Oh yes, a little bit of tilling over there, and a little bit of tilling over there. You can be like, no, you know what? I've had enough of tilling. I can go around. I could go inside. Just turn around slowly. There we go. And then I could be like, oh, you know what? I want to cook a fish. Cook the fish in the fireplace, as such. Cooked fish is now ready. I'll go over here, and then I can take my cooked fish out right here. Have a little sit down. Here we go. Enjoy my fish with a hoe. Nom 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 nom. There we go. We now have an inventory system that works. And yeah, that wasn't painful at all. Oh god. Alright. So, what did I learn? Well, I learned that it's probably not the best idea to attempt to create an inventory system using XRGrab interactables while you're dead, tired, and not thinking straight. I also found that there is a way to do what I'm trying to do that works fairly well. But I think this is a thing I really need to come back and revisit because yeah, that it is really difficult to get stuff moving around, and I feel like I didn't do that the best way I could. So maybe one day I'll have a brain and I'll be able to sit down and like think this through, and I'll come out with a much better answer to this problem that will not introduce new errors and such. But for the time being, we do have an inventory system. So let's do the same for the rake. Here we go. Select. All these errors. Here we go. So I have fish number 2 over here. Let's go into fish number 2. And we're going to replace that mesh collider on this. Interesting. Okay. Let's go and write down, it's not called a rake, it was called a rake, I'm sorry. That's what it was. Not a fork, which is what I feel like it should be called. So, world space visuals. We're going to center it. We're going to rotate it. There we go. And it's a little bit off center for some reason, both the rake and the other thing. We're going to follow the example of the other one where we have this like that at the base. And we're going to duplicate it, move it over here, and we're going to put that in a little ball. So we're going to rename this as IS space visuals. We're going to remove that, and we're going to shrink this to 0.03. I think I decided last time was pretty good. Put this to 0, 0. Take a look at the orb. It seems to fit in the orb. Let's just move it down just to be safe. It is pointy after all. Okie dokie. And now if I go back to fish 2 and scroll down, I have world space and inventory space. Inventory, this is not something I set here. Fish 2 rigid body, fish 2 mesh collider. Cool. So the mesh collider is totally wrong. So we're going to, I'm going to write rake and see what it gives me. Yeah, it's doing this thing where it's laying down as well. Okay. Remove that. Let's have a box collider for the top bit. I'd like this once more, please. There we go. Here we go. Put that here. Put that here. Put ourselves in orthographic. Move this. Oh no. Move this all the way up. Must be clicking beside it. Here we go. Here we go. And here we go. We go into side view and actually make it at the right place. Here we go. And here we go. Next I'm going to do a capsule. There we go. And we're going to shrink this to be like maybe that. And as such, and we're going to increase the height slightly and move this up to 0.5. Here we go. And the trigger is going to be this collider right here. And I'm realizing that this trigger actually stays on when it's in inventory, and that's a problem. So what I'm going to do is copy this, remove it, and add it right here. Paste component as new. Rotation. Okay, because I rotated that. I'm sorry. We're not going to have it there. We're going to have it here. Paste as new. There we go. And this should turn on and off with the other thing. Here we go. There we go. The orb has that one. I have both visible. This one is only going to be truly visible or truly like important. Okay, That should be fine, and it should still work. I should still be able to grab this. I might not be able to grab the fork, but I should be able to grab that. And I'm not going to call it fish number 2 anymore. Prefabs, items. We're going to rename this to not rake, but fork. Rename? Fork. Pitchfork, sorry. Pitchfork. Here we go, pitchfork. And we could put the pitchfork into the scene. And we can do the same as the fish and the hoe. Let's do it that way, sure. Maybe not a good idea to have it at the end in the end, but eh. There we go. So all 3 should be there. Inventory, this I don't care about. I could set it to hide that. But I already said I was gonna come back and like not have it doing it the stupid way. And I need to add in drop actually. Let's go into this. Oh no. It's going to pop up. And grab item drop, and it's going to pop up. And then we leave. And that should be fine. It should work. Alright, let's take a little test. Do a little role play with our new items. And enjoy what I managed to do for these last 2 hours. So, if I click on play, I'll make it full screen as well so you guys see better. By the way, it's 10. How's my sound on stream now? There we go. Here we go. Fish. Rake. I think it was backwards. Let's ignore that issue for now. Here we go. So we have our fish, our rake, and our hoe. So I could be like, oh, what a pleasant day today. Yes. Well then, I am going to do a little bit of farming. Oh yes. I'm going to use the hoe first. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. Let's just pretend I'm holding it with both hands. There we go. Oh, that was difficult work. Alright. I don't actually have hay. Okay, let's pretend I have hay. Oops. This one. Ooh, I'm having trouble grabbing it. Is it the same bug? No, I'm just really dumb. Okay. I don't have hay, but I can practice my spearing. There we go. Spear, 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 spear. Spear, spear. Oh, that was difficult spearing. Well then, I think it's time to go inside. Oh, and I shall eat some fish. And I shall cook it by putting it right there. Maybe our fire needs some hoeing to get it started. Ho, ho, ho. There we go. Now our fish is cooked. And it is ready to be eaten. And of course, oops, sitting on a table. There we go. What better way to eat this than with a fork? Went through the table. Oh, I lost my fish. Maybe I need a smaller fork. Alright. Perfect. This VR world is coming together great. Let's ignore this mess and just stare out at the horizon. Yep. Perfect. Ho away! Perfect. So my Patreon link to support this project. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a Patreon link. Maybe I should. But your grass that rotates with the camera, though, that's not good. Yeah, yeah. You have no idea how tempting it's been since I've been like self-training in shaders recently to just use that use this world as a way of testing that and like making proper grass shaders and proper tree shaders and all that. I have resisted so far. I have resisted so far. All right, it is coming up to 9 o'clock. I'm just going to cross off of my to-do list. Transfer to 2 items. We did that. And I'll keep this up. I'll keep this up for now. I'm gonna take my headset off. There we go. So this is the list of the add the grass. Oh, that's a good idea. I was just about to say, if you had any ideas for what I should be adding onto this list, I'll add that. Fix grass. Ooh. Do you see anything else? Oh, the slime. That's right. I wanted to make a slime for you to animate. Slime modeling and rigging. Well, let's split it up. So slime modeling, slime unwrapping, slime rigging, slime textures slash shaders, I guess. The wob wob shader on the balls. The wob wob. Oh yeah. I need to recreate that. That's right. Oops. So on my balls, the hungry hole shader. I created a cool shader, but I'm going to recreate it from scratch. Probably not on stream, but for this project at a later date. Okay. Can you think of anything else? I mean, there's loads of things to do, but I'm trying to find things that like would be good to do next. The sky, I do have the clouds, right? Clouds, yeah. I'm gonna add sun slash moon. One of the plugins I had this really cool thing. It was like mixed in with the clouds and stuff. Farming, yeah, I could do that. But it mixed in with the clouds and stuff. They had like the sun that would move through the sky based on the time of day. They also had the moon moving through the sky, and they had stars, which I thought was pretty cool. So let's add that stars. Farming. I'm not too sure what to do with the farming, to be honest, but I'll add it in. Okay. All right. potions for the village. That could be good. Yeah, I have a cool potion shader too now. I know how to do that. I looked it up. Okay. Let's have potions slash shaders. And I'm going to do brewing. Brewing. Say cooking, eh? Cooking. Okay, I think this is a pretty good list for now. There's, like I said, loads of things I can do, loads of things that I should be doing, but I think this is a good to-do list for now. Because the anime that's this thing is based on loves cooking. Yeah. Did you actually see the full season in the end? I still haven't gone past episode 1. And I'm realizing that like the amount of streaming that I have so far on this project is just so much longer than the actual anime so far. Most of it, yes. Oh, that's pretty good. Maybe I will watch it. It's super cool and cute and chill. Maybe I will watch it. Maybe I will. Alright. But from what I saw, there's a good chance that... No, never mind. I was gonna say something, and I realized it's not the place to talk about that. Anyway, so yeah, this is a good to-do for now. And I think I'm gonna call it here for tonight, because it is 9 o'clock. So this is it. To anyone listening to this after the fact, thanks for dropping by. I'm always happy to talk to people on stream and even answer comments afterwards. That's it for today. Goodbye!